Your life as a chicken would be a rough one. Maybe. It depends. Before you are even a thought in your mother's head, a mating ritual must be performed. Now, unlike us humans, chicken can't exactly swipe right and find someone. No, sir, in the world of a chicken, it all starts with a mating ritual that's equal parts impressive as it is romantic. A rooster approaches a hen, drops a wing to the floor, and does a cute little chicken dance. If she's into it, she'll flatten herself out on the ground, letting the rooster know that it's go time. And boom, just like that, the chickens do the nasty, and you are finally a concept in your mother's head. Now, although this ritual is lovely and all, hens don't really need a rooster to lay eggs. They do that on their own. But those eggs are unfertilized, meaning no life are in these shells. These are the ones you find in your local grocery store, forever stuck in a cardboard carton wondering what life could have been like. Once the deed is done and the cardio is over, the hen gets to nesting. She'll usually lay all her eggs in a group commonly known as a clutch. These clutches are actually so important to the hen that if she's short a few, no worries. She'll just steal some from a neighbor and put them in her own nest. That's right, trafficking is a real concern in the life of chickens. With her clutch now complete, Mama Hen enters her brooding phase, which means sitting on her babies like her life depends on it. She'll keep those eggs warm and protected day in and day out, only getting up to eat or to unload in the bathroom. If Dad's still around, he plays the part of the bodyguard. With his wings out, chest puffed, the rooster is ready to throw down for her baby mama. But let's be real now, a lot of threats out there are quite a challenge even for the biggest of roosters. Let's take, for example, a raccoon. On one hand, we have a 2 to 3 foot tall, wild animal weighing about 15 pounds and sometimes even 50. It's agile and has pretty sharp teeth and claws. Now on the other hand, we have a rooster, weighing only about 8 to 10 pounds, standing roughly 2 feet tall, and whose attacks consist of a peck and a scratch. I mean, it's pretty easy to see who's winning this. However, it's a good thing that the rooster's goal isn't to attack, it's to defend. God forbid a raccoon were to attack, the rooster will do 3 things: intimidate, scream, and flap its wings. If the raccoon gets scared and leaves, congratulations, the rooster is a hero. If not, well, that's it. If your dad gets turned into shredded chicken, your mom most likely comes next, and your tiny butt doesn't even get a shot at life. Now, although raccoons are dangerous, these are not your only threat. Oh no. The threats to your life include foxes, snakes, weasels, crows, opossums, and sometimes even your own mother. That's right, if one of the eggs cracks prematurely, Mama might instinctively eat the insides for protein. Buddy, that's you right there. You're the protein. And if she develops a taste for it, let alone a habit, that's it. She's officially gone rogue. She'll crack her own eggs just for a nutrient snack. Now let's assume you survive all of that. Day 21 finally hits, and congratulations kiddo, it's time to hatch. To crack the egg, you've got a special little tool called an egg tooth. It's a single-use pointy spike on your beak made specifically for breaking your shell. Now I know it looks ugly, but don't worry, after a few days it does eventually just fall off. It's quite an amazing feature, to be honest. So now you're free. You hatched. Small, chirpy, and most importantly, adorable. Standing only about 18 centimeters tall and weighing less than a pound, you are still very vulnerable. Your mom still isn't done with you just yet, and in fact, during the next couple of weeks, she protects you like her life depends on it. It's during this time that you perform an imprint on her. That means you decide, yep, that's my mom. But sometimes the little chickie could get confused, and they can imprint on humans, or rocks, or tragically, even fence posts. It's weird, it's sad, but it's life nonetheless. As the days go by, your mother feeds you more and more, and you start to see changes in your body. Your fluff turns to feathers, your wattles grow in, which is that little fleshy, red nut skin on the rooster's face. Those grow in, and eventually, you hit chicken puberty. You're officially a teen. Now hold on there. Don't get too crazy just yet. You're still under your mama's wing. but now she's teaching you survival tactics like how to roost. Roosting basically means sitting on a high place so things don't eat you while you nap. Listen, as a chicken, predators are around every corner. You can't afford to fall asleep on low ground. This is why many chickens are usually perched up on a fence or branch, hoping that they are high enough to make it through the night. This proves that high ground remains a superior strategy no matter what the context. Once you mastered this, listen man, your mom won't be there forever to feed you, alright? So it's time for you to learn some foraging. Or in other words, pecking on the ground for food. Now, although it's a vital part, it isn't just about the food. It's about not turning into a feather-plucking disaster. Too much boredom can lead you to start pecking yourself. Too much pecking can lead to, on the less severe side, some feather damage, and on the absolute worst, you develop cannibalism. Yeah, foraging basically keeps you busy enough so you don't do that. Trust me, the last thing you want is to become some sort of diseased, fent-posed chicken in front of your owners. Keep up your pecking and learning, and within time, boom, you're 9 months old, an independent young man. Congratulations on making it this far, but buckle up, buddy. This is where things get real. This is when life hits you like a freight train. Assuming your mother isn't on someone's plate right now, it's time for you to say goodbye and say hello to a new chapter in your life. Depending on where you were raised, your life either turns into a beautiful, loving farm tale or a horror documentary. If you were raised on a breeder farm, typically farmers want more hens than roosters. So if you were unlucky enough to be born a rooster when there's already too many of them, sorry buddy, you'll go from feathers to fryer real quick, I'll tell you that. Now what if you were born as a broiler chicken? Your destiny entering adulthood basically looks like this: shrink wrap and a barcode. So, other than being a breeder, an egg layer, or a price tag, there's really only two more paths you can take: a cockfighter or a pet chicken. Now, being raised for fighting isn't as glamorous as you might think. You'll live in a cage, get juiced with steroids, and sometimes even get your wattles cut off. Your owners do this to basically prevent them from being torn off mid-fight. If this doesn't sound cruel enough, some rings even allow you to be strapped with weapons such as knives for maximum damage. Of course, your opponent will also be decked out with the latest chicken weaponry. You become a gladiator, you get the fame, you get the glory, but at the cost of a deep psychological trauma. Now, if God decides to smile on you, maybe, just maybe, you get the dream life: a pet chicken. You roam the vast lands of a farm, peck around the dirt all you want, lay the occasional egg, or lay the occasional pipe, and live out your days in peace. You'll be fed by your owners, but most importantly, you'll be loved. You're free. And by the time you know it, you'll hit old age and you'll die happy knowing you didn't end up as a combo meal at KFC. Why? Because old chickens really just don't taste that good anyways. The end.